Come on! Welcome to the Yeah Come On Show with Southside Steve.
Yeah, come on. It's a great shirt you picked there this morning,
well,
Jeff.
This was by design, of course.
It was by design, and there's one thing that's never been on either one of our chests. Now, I've always been 96 Rock or Rock 100.5. There was a year of country, but hey, I had to do something. The regular guys had gotten fired again for the second time. There wasn't anything out there, and thank God country saw something in me, but they didn't see it in my partner, Tim Rhodes, who I finished 96 Rock with, Southside and Rhodes. So I just kind of had to go my own way, and I did mornings with Rhubarb in Dallas in 07.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's rock. And it's not even, it's the attitude. It's every listener gives off a vibe. There's rock listeners, alternative listeners, country listeners, you know, on the big pop listeners, hip hop, when you look at the stations in the Atlanta market, and I think you would agree. And I just think I like the country and the rock listeners the most.
Yeah.
What about you? You've been in all of those.
I've yeah. I never worked at
Go ahead and rattle off what you did.
Well, you know, the 96 Rock mix, 97.1 The River. And I was thinking, you know, we have the big news about them Cumulus canning all of the 99X personalities, except Will Pendarvis. Is that right? Well, did they really just cleaned house? And this is a nationwide thing. I read articles. Cumulus did it across the board.
Yeah, and here's the deal. I will put the X. Like, remember when Kiss put the X in sex?
Yeah.
We might play that even. But for me, that X was never my thing. They were a competitor from day one. When I came out of 88.5, like you, that's the music we played. But all the students at Georgia State on literally a 100,000 watt voice, there was only 3 100,000 watt college stations in the nation.
Yeah, and this, the 88.5 was the only one that was all student run. The other big ones weren't all student run like 88.5.
No, and we were student run from a program director to an assistant to logs. So when you performed in college radio at Georgia State, you were basically doing what a lot of people were doing in terrestrial radio.
Yeah, a lot of those people went on to 99X.
Yeah, instead, I went to 96 Rock. There were 2 or 3 of us that started interning there, and the opportunity presented itself. And I got hired, I remember May of 94 to do weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I quit Georgia State and quit college, never finished. You did, just got a diploma. Not many people have a diploma in radio. In communications.
Well, journalism. They didn't have a radio. They had a journalism path.
Yeah, more of that. But, you know, for you, you're educated, and I like it. And a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, but all the stuff that I learned, it's all, well, the broadcast journalism stuff was all, you know, it's all
stupid.
Moved on. Like, we learned how to edit videotape back, you know, analog tape and, you know, splicing reels. It's
gone.
The technical part is completely worthless, what I learned there.
No, I've got a drawer full, not a drawer, but a container of reels from every one that I used to make it my answering machine or whatever, the things that I put together, the promos, all the tape I cut. And by the time I got to 96 Rock, by 95, we were still cutting a little bit of tape. But just to let everybody know, you know, and he sells the 96 Rock tags like what Jeff's wearing. That is Willard. And Willard is the one that got the license for 100,000 watts for 88.5.
Yeah.
And then he went on to work, you know, middays on 96 Rock forever with Katie in afternoons and whatever morning show. For me, it was Christopher Rude and the Wake Up Crew where I started. Thanks to Christopher Rude, I'm Southside Steve. Thanks to the regular guys, I'm either famous or infamous. I don't know which.
Well, yeah. So now I don't know the future of the new 99X. So
they did this.
They did.
They put an X through it, and what happened?
But it's still on. It looks like they're going to keep it going.
Well,
and they have a bunch of concerts coming up that they're promoting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be a complete flip or what. You know.
See, to me, there's always a decision. It didn't happen. I was in a flip. So when 99X came about, they ended the second time. They ended Rock 100.5.
And this was 3 years ago. So this had a 3-year run, 3.5 years.
3.5 years, and it was the brainchild of a guy named Brian Phillips, who
was the original one of the original brainchilds of 99X. It was him, Sean Demery, Leslie Fram, Steve Craig.
And that was a brilliant idea because of the timing. People don't realize 96 Rock, such a force in the 80s. But here we are creeping into the 90s, and all the bands that were charting on the CMJs, which is college radio stations. So that's where Collective Soul, which I played for the first time ever on the radio in 88, they built up a fan base on the CMJs. So then what happens? People in the commercial radio go, okay, this is for real. So that's when it was the great move right around 92, 93 to start these alternative stations because the music was performing.
And then grunge was taking off and
on
all
MTV.
That. Yeah. And then so there you go. It started in 92.
There you go. And Brian Phillips was the brainchild of that. So he's program director. He's up against 96 Rock after a couple of years. First with me. I remember going to the Swiss Hotel, and it was morning show boot camp. And there's 99X, and here I am with Christopher Rudin, Beth Keppel, and Jeff Hullinger, and Kevin Zeppelin. And he's like, yeah, they're the enemy. And I was like, let's run. I mean, you really get caught up in it. You're like,
back then, that era, that was a big thing. Personalities at different stations going to war. Remember the great Peter Conlon used to say when the Music Midtown started, they had every radio station had their own things. Like there was too much fighting going on amongst the radio stations, so they quit doing it that way.
They did because you had the 99X stage, the 96 Rock stage, the V103 stage, and you're right. He separated us, rightly so. Thank you, Peter Conlon. You are brilliant, and he's also in the green room. On this lovely Yeah Come On show. We may put him on a different day due to live gigs we're doing. We'll get into that. But all we're doing is telling you what you've read, maybe on socials, or what you're now hearing. If you didn't pay attention, 96 Rock was a long time ago. That we lost it in 06 and or 07.
06.
06. So it was at the end of the year. 06. I was let go January 3rd of 06 because they didn't want to give me a 3-year deal when they knew they're going to blow it up. Regular guys got fired at the end of the year. My co-host, Jeff Cole, last member, last guy standing at 96 Rock, playing the last song before Project 961 took over.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan
I think
of
it was November. It was November of 2006.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of alternative music because it's gotten me twice. But keep in mind, I'm not dumb. X was on our signal. The Dickies bought it, made it rock 100.5. So then when people
they filled the hole when 96 Rock went away, which that was the dumbest move that Clear Channel did.
Yes.
I mean, because we see more of these shirts and license plates now. Where would we be if Janet Jackson never had the wardrobe malfunction? That's a long story, but that's the impetus of the end of 96 Rock, the wardrobe malfunction in 2004.
100%. And I will tell you that my idea in the end, when I was coming back to the regular guys, literally a month before 96 Rock would be ended permanently, when I was just appearing on this show before I started country music or country radio, I literally had a thing drawn up and I said, get rid of everything, go back to the orange and black and say, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back. And have the Attitude Era again, and just say we're back and start playing kick-ass music and just re-pee on the tree.
Yeah, well, just like 99X just did 3 years ago.
They did,
and they argue that it wasn't a ratings thing why this whole cut happened, because they have a whole dispute with Nielsen ratings, so they don't even know.
Well, they're currently suing Arbitron.
Yeah, but before that they were doing well. But for good reason, because a lot of people were excited. In fact, I was reading a lot of comments of people, all the personalities saying, "Hey, yeah, we got let go. They canned all the personalities." And people like, "Hey, this station's nothing anymore. What a screw up. It's not 99X without the personalities." And I agree 100%.
100%. Yep. So they're gone, and we read it like you read it, and we ran into Axel. He came up to our Thursday night event at which was a lot of fun to see him, and we do that at Rockin' Taco, another great sponsor of the show here. And Jeff and I got great news. We now appear live every Thursday. So it's not the first Thursday. That's just the biggest show.
Not the first, not the third, not every other.
I hate that.
Every
Thursday, we are there going live and introducing whatever the act of the night is. So come and see us. It's always in 8 a.m. or I think 8 p.m. is about the time we introduce them. So Jeff and I are always going to do our show around 6:37, and then introduce the act today, whoever that is. And there's some good alternative people coming. I looked. We're going to get into that later.
Okay.
So I just want to say, Jeff and I. Jeff has now I think you're at 21 and I'm at 31 years of radio experience. Definitely 30 and 20
it's more than
terrestrial.
that.
Well, I'm saying terrestrial.
Yeah.
I'm not counting our independent radio years.
Okay, well, that's still terrestrial.
I guess we should. But no, I'm just joking. Yeah, not Chris Murray. You could have paid a little bit more. But yeah, so Fox FM, Jeff and I did for 2.5 years, and they have 9 signals still all over Georgia. You know, there's 2 in Atlanta because they split it, and then there's 1 in Marietta, Roswell. And I wish nothing the best. Tom Sullivan's on mornings over there. But I just want to say that, yes, Steve Craig is gone. Barnes is gone.
Crash
is gone.
Jill.
I didn't know who Jill was.
Oh, yeah. She did nights for a long time and weekends, and she worked at the river for a while when I did. She was doing me and her were doing weekends on the river back when I was doing
She was never the program director at the river, was she?
No.
No, she was just on air.
Yeah. I think she did traffic on WSB.
Okay.
So she did a lot at Cox for a while.
And here's the thing. For anybody that doesn't have a gig, for most people, this was a side gig.
Yeah.
Because Barnes is making a living. Jimmy Barron's making a living. Leslie Fram was. Jimmy, I adore. He's a sweet man, good, talented guy. He was the black book back in the day knew all the famous people. Steve Craig, good guy. We always have great conversations. He's a good person and a solid person, and you've worked with him for years, and I got nothing negative to say about Steve Craig. Crash is crazy as hell. That's just his thing. He was crazy doing traffic. He's crazy if he shows up on your promotion. I got some American Pie stories, but I've never had a problem with him. There is this crazy little situation that I won't get into that I have nothing to do with. But sometimes listeners can get the best of personalities, and they shouldn't listen to what they hear. They should call that personality and ask them. And I'm like, dude, I was in a golf tournament with you 2 weeks ago. We're fine. Why in the world do you think I would want your job? I don't. I do not. For the record, don't call me. Nobody. Southside Steve does not want to work for 99X. What about you?
Well, I'm kind of a radio whore. I never got the big corporate, full-time deal.
I do not want to work for 99X. It would scratch my soul. It's not the music I like. It's not the audience. Some of the audience is too extreme. I can handle my trailer people better than I can handle
the good old boys.
I can handle good old boys because they're my kind of people. I cannot handle pink hair and liberal craziness. So, not my thing. And I'm not angry. I refuse to be angry. I'm going to be positive. So I have nothing negative to say. The only people that I'm not mentioning, and by the way, Tommy, Matt Jones, Bobby Carter, all these people were great weekenders. And I either was in college radio or I know them personally. They're awesome. The only couple of people that I don't know Leslie Fram. I hear she's nice. I don't know her. I don't know Barnes, so I'm not going to say anything negative. I've heard you say 2 tacky things, and I just know what I hear. I'm not calling you Larry, but maybe you're Larry-esque. That's all I've ever heard. I don't know him, but I have talked to people who work with him. And then that's it. So I don't have a grind against him. I don't know Will Pendarvis. I would think I would, but I don't think I do. So good luck to you, dude. Play the music, see where it goes. But is there a sale coming? What's happening? We lost Kristen on Q.
Yeah.
And now these people are tasting it. I thought she wrote something cool. Don't want to talk. I'm processing. The good news is I get to stay home with my baby. So is radio over in Atlanta? Is this 4-hour Atlanta radio show done in 30 minutes or less or a little more? Live without a net where you're going to get your information. I can tell you this man, Jeff Cole, has never burned a bridge in radio. He's always said yes to everything.
It cost me a couple of marriages.
It cost him marriages, and it cost him his job when he wouldn't take the shot. That's it.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Me, I have always been edgy. I'm a lot crazier on the radio than I am in person. I'm a much better person off air if you don't love me on air. But I like shock humor, and I will say just about anything, and 90% of it's true, and the other 10% is exaggerated.
As Huey Lewis says, some of my lies are true.
Yeah, I like it. But here's the good news. I know he's a good person. That's why I've worked with him for 3 years. I know I'm a good person, and I care about the listener and I care about people. I do not like negativity or angry, and I don't like a-holes. And I don't like people that want to kill Christians. That's pretty much my thing. But radio, if you want us, call us. If you don't, what up? Hey, it's Southside Steve for the Yeah Come On show, and I just want to brag about Small Sliders right here in Marietta off Windy Hill just before Cobb Parkway. Let me tell you, you haven't lived, you dip a small slider into queso. Or maybe you get it with barbecue or jalapenos, or you get it plain with cheese. The thing is, you need to get it. Drive through Small Sliders, or should I say, slide on through. Yeah, come on. Hey, it's Southside Steve for the Yeah Come On show, and I just want to brag about.
Oh, wait, Mike.
What happened?
The commercial played twice.
What?
Mike got distracted because he was listening to us talk about what we were going to do. So let's just go. Okay,
Mike,
he'll pick it up.
Can I talk to Mike? Be thankful you didn't live through the craziness, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe radio's going to be good for a while, or they're going to treat people right. And here's the only thing I'll say before you hit this commercial. When you know you're letting somebody go, I've got 2 kids. I've worked in this market for 30 years. You could tell me I'm getting fired in a month, and I will do goodbye shows and be the nicest guy.
They're always afraid you're gonna burn the bridge.
I'm not. We're going to cover all things WNBA, but we talked about radio in Atlanta, and that is the message, man. There's a lot going on, a lot of craziness, and to everybody that lost their gig, I know how it feels. Trust me. To make a third of what you make, and you're hustling and trying to figure it out, and do you stay in a parallel universe with this, or do you go somewhere totally different? So my hearts go out to anybody that got canned. And without talking negatively about Cumulus, I just think there's decisions.
Well, they just in trouble. They just can't afford to keep doing what they're doing. It's a simple business decision. Just sucks that it's people that we know that are affected.
Yeah, I knew the CEO, Mary Berner. We were tight. That's Steve MZ right now, and that's brought to you by. I can tell you, it's brought to you by Elite Finishes, because that's a guy that's out there hustling. He was in the sector, and now he wants to do the best paint jobs he can in and out of your house. He's hired only the best. He's let guys go that weren't good. He is on site daily, and this guy did my kitchen, and he's incredible. Go to elitefinishesga.com, and also Small Sliders that you just saw. That's another small business that's popping up, and I know the owners. They're great people. There's some people out there that are going to give what they should, which is great service. They're going to go into areas where people appreciate it. So if you're in an area where you don't appreciate stuff and you raise hell, you may not have a small slider. Little message to the people
that need sliders.
Sliders. Mm-hmm. America needs sliders. But Steve MZ, with the WNBA doing what it's doing, and we will go to Jack Sugar for sports after Politictainment with Jeff. There's only one thing I want to bring up today in Steve MZ because it hits close to my heart. He's cooter to me. That was the special spot my girlfriend that I pined for in high school. That's what she called it.
I know, and you look back, it's like the character's name on Dukes of Hazzard. His name was Cooter.
Which is what that was kind of at that time, because it was 79 to 85. What people were the slang term for something else.
Yeah.
But he's passed, man, and I hate it that he's gone. But the dude lived a long life, and he went into politics, and we're going to talk about him and Steve MZ. Jeff, we've lost Ben Jones.
Ben Jones, yeah, Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard. That's one of my first favorite shows. I was only 5-6 years old when it came out.
Was the music? Just a good
boy.
You
got Waylon Jennings' song. Of course, I love the song, and then him narrating. And I don't even think I realized that they shot it here back then. To me, it was just a show on TV. I wasn't really paying attention because back then I wasn't quite yet the hardest working man trying to get into show business. But now, of course, everything you see on TV is filmed in Atlanta. In fact, I get distracted now whenever I'm watching a new show or a new movie. I'm like, look, okay, where are they? I know they're in Atlanta. I got to prove it. And then, of course, I'll go look it up. Oh, yeah, filmed in Atlanta.
Look
So
at that.
it's distracting for me to watch new content now because I'm such an Atlanta native.
No, and I got a rare chance. I've never met Ben Jones, but he was a politician in Georgia.
Yeah, he was a House of Congress
Yes.
representative from Georgia. And everybody kind of was like, oh my God, Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard is going to Congress.
Yeah.
You never know.
Look,
I mean, look at now. Trump did it. He was a reality guy.
He was. Well, billionaire, millionaire,
Well, yeah, but still, I mean,
entrepreneur.
back then, that was a very unique thing for someone who was kind of on TV and show business to go into politics.
Yeah.
Now it happens a lot more.
No, it does. It does. Do we have anything from Ben? We don't need to play Dukes of Hazzard. People have
we-
heard it
we'd
a
probably
million
We'd
times.
probably get burned. If,
Yeah, I don't want to get burned. Believe it or not, when you do radio the way we're doing it, you get burned because there's
Right.
certain
Well,
things
because
you can do.
we're not paying an ASCAP or BMI
Should we do
licensing
that?
fee. No, it costs too much. But traditional radio does. They play a bank.
Well, they've got
blanket
the
fee.
budget.
Yeah. Well, they're already paying it because they're playing music, so you can play whatever music on your show.
I want you to research. It'd be fun if we could do intro music and play a little.
Well, some you can, some you can't. It just depends on how strict the bots are when they find you on YouTube. The publishers, some let it go, and some ding you.
Here's what I do. I don't mess with anything that doesn't have a soul because I can't reach it. You got to have a heart for me to get to you.
Yeah.
And then I would just say, hey, let me do it. But when a bot's running it, I'm
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah.
84 years of age. And he's survived by his wife. Get this, fifth wife.
Oh wow.
But the last one he jumped on in the 90s.
Okay, so the last one lasted him 30
It
years.
lasted a long time. But the only other person I know married 5 times was Rhubarb Jones, who was on the radio and a professor at Kennesaw State. For those of you that don't live in Georgia, this is how he talked. No, Southside. You can't say hell on the radio. Perfect imitation. First day I worked with him, I said, hell. He goes, you can't say that. And I went, really? Why not? So Ben Jones dying. God bless the guy. Get this. Here's how he died. Rarely do we know. And his wife said it. He's sitting in his favorite chair and he's anticipating watching the Atlanta Braves and the Yankees. He's waiting on the Braves game to start. He's got his food, his remote, and he's literally talking to her and is excited to watch the Braves and play the Yankees. The only thing is, he never got to see it. He passed away of a massive heart attack in his favorite chair, eating, waiting for the Braves. That's what his wife has leaked out. For some, maybe that's the way to go.
That sounds like the way to go at 84.
At 84.
I'd be cool with that.
Steve MZ gives you the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, come on. Thanks for entertaining us when we were a lot younger.
Hey, this is Southside Steve from the Green Room for the Red, White, and Green Show with Ted Jenkins. Currently, we're not in a green room, but this is a green room to me because there's $1 million buses. I'm standing with Parker. Parker is with Rap Star USA, a proud sponsor of the Red, White, and Green Show, and that's WRAP star.com. And Parker, we talked about the turnaround if there's damage with a wrap and how people out there with businesses, we see all the wrap vehicles, but some of them don't look good, therefore you may not get business calls. Also, if you got a high-end car, a boat on Lake Lanier, a motorcycle, a third of the price of paint protects the paint that's on there and looks better. And what can you say to that?
Just mainly just helps you stand out. If you're just tired of seeing just plain cars driving down the road, that's the big problem today. They make just whites, grays, blacks. You can stand out fully. It's the whole rainbow at that point, and you're protecting your vehicle at the same time. And if, say, you get a big rock chip on the front end or you get into a fender bender, you can just pull that panel right off, sand it, clean it, and just rewrap it again. So the turnaround time for repairs is a fraction that it is when it comes to paint.
I will never paint again. I'm wrapping it. I didn't wrap it as a child or a teenager, excuse me, but I'm wrapping it now. It's rapstarusa.com. Parker's ready to work for you.
Polydictainment.
So just the peace deal in Iran has not been going well. We can hear it 50 times since it started. We're close, but it's not happening. But here's a development over the past 24 hours or so. Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump are kind of having a little friction because apparently Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected one of our 15-point peace plan.
Oh, boy.
And so they're kind of having a little squabble because this is Trump's peace plan and Netanyahu's not for it. How about this? You have to, or we're not going to support you anymore. How about that?
You don't
Netanyahu?
really get a choice there. I think there's.
I agree. He should be, doing whatever. Otherwise, we're going to pull your support because a lot of Americans are starting to question, wait, why are we sending Israel billions of dollars? What are they the ones causing trouble over there? Why are they so involved in our politics with the AIPAC, with the lobby that almost every Congress member and senator take money from? What's going on? So people are questioning that and they're not getting the support that they used to.
Yeah.
Generally over the public, at least on my algorithm.
To me,
definitely not.
To me, it's funny because I was watching something on my algorithm and it showed 10 places that we know Jesus touched in real life, meaning he did exist 2,000 plus years ago for those that maybe aren't sure and they just have it through readings and places and locations. All that is being preserved by Israel. So I think for a lot of people, the reason that they're like, you got to save them, because if something happened, everything goes. It's like that's the cornerstone of Christianity, which is what this country was founded on, which is why we're involved.
Okay, well, can't we have the two-state solution? The whatever Christian Israeli part and then the Palestinian whatever part. I don't know where the line is or whatever.
I think they drew the line already.
But Israel always rejects the two-state solution. They pass the blame on everyone else, but it's really them that are from what I see on my algorithm, which is not always accurate, but I'm just saying, I think we're not getting the full story on Israel's involvement in all the chaos over there. They're not innocent. They're not.
I had no
clean.
idea. I'm just trying to figure out what sports my kids are going to play, what school, and that's the problem. We all get it internal. All I know is we've got the greatest country in the world. We have freedom like nobody else in the world because if you travel, you see it, and people are trying to screw that up. So you're damn right. I'm worried about my world. If you're a socialist and really think we should defund police and all this other stuff, I can't even talk to you. You're an idiot. It just makes no sense. And tell me one time, and I always say this, tell me one time socialism ever worked. Go back in history and show me what it leads to. Ooh, communism. Mm-hmm. So it's stupid. It's stupid. These are for losers that don't want to do anything and just want to scream, and you're being taken advantage also of people that don't want to simulate. That's my concern. So I think Trump has to figure this out. I can tell you where it's headed. It has to.
More war.
I think it's one day. I think you bomb the crap out of it and do what you said you were going to do. All power, all bridges gone. Already economically, they're done.
And we're doing this on Israel's behalf?
No, I think we're just
we're doing it on Israel's behalf. This is why Netanyahu should agree with whatever plan we come up with. How about we don't bomb and we just pull out and don't do anything anymore? We're done. Let's leave the Middle East totally. Why is that so? Israel's the reason we don't leave the Middle East.
Yeah. Well, there are people there that want to be saved and want democracy or want a different...
They got to want it themselves, just like we did in 1776.
Which means we fought England.
Yeah.
You got to fight somebody.
Yeah. And we'll give a little help, but not ruin our whole economy.
Well, there you go. That's why Politictainment gets edgy.
Hey, this is Southside Steve at North Atlanta Golf Carts right here in Brazelton and Dawsonville, whichever one's closer to you. And I'm sitting in a Donago right now. This is a family six-seater, sound, everything, all the bells and whistles. $12,999, and you start it with a key. No, a card. Yeah, come on. I forgot to tell you, it's got a rear backup camera. Awesome. Donago, North Atlanta Golf Carts.
Yeah, come on. Mike just told me he may have a little problem. He may have to reset. It's not.
Right? Really?
Getting Jack on the phone.
All right. So if we reset, we're just down for a minute.
Yeah. You may have to pull an audible and just you call him and just put him on the mic.
Really?
Put your speakerphone.
Really? That's what we got to do? Is this because of digital stuff? I got to tell you, one thing.
It's the digital stuff.
We're always going to do the Yeah Come On show. We are always going to do it, but it will either we got how much to hardwire this room where we're like a studio?
That's a lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
All right. I need some hard wires. I need to know that it'll go. You've given up. Should I call Jack?
Yeah, it's not coming up.
All right. I don't mind. Here we go.
So, but again, it's the 4-hour Atlanta radio show.
Should I do it on speaker or do
live
it
with
here?
it? I think just maybe put him. Let's give him his own mic.
All right, Jack, you there?
I'm here.
All right, good news is you're getting ready to be on the Yeah Come On show on Yeah Come On Sports. The bad news is Mike's having trouble, so I'm putting you on my phone, and you have your own microphone, and people can see your little character face. And see my little cute face for Jack? There we go. Oh, Jack Sugar. So we're ready. When you're ready, let's do a test. Go ahead, say it.
Sounds good.
How's that sound?
Testing.
I mean, I hear it.
All right, Jack, take it away. It is Jack Sugar with Yeah Come On Sports, and we will not be talking here about the WNBA because Jack doesn't watch it, nor do I, and that's become more of a Steve MZ story. It's not sports anymore.
Yeah, right. Maybe we'll do that in Steve MZ tomorrow.
Yeah, go ahead, Jackie.
Yeah, that's definitely culture. Although, basketball, it's just year round, as Jeff said. I'm fully subscribing to that
Yes.
that notion you got going there, Jeff.
I'm glad I've converted somebody because I'm not the only one that can think that. So I'm glad that me and Jack are now on the same page.
I
with
still
basketball.
question the two of you, but we'll see where it goes.
So yeah, in other not basketball news, the Braves are still 8.5 games up in the NL East, which is just amazing. The takeaway post trade deadline from most people is that the Braves did not do enough. I tend to agree. You forecast into September, October baseball, and you look at some of the rotations that we're going to be up against. The Phillies, they've got Wheeler, Luzardo, a number of decent guys that are going to, eat some innings at a quality level. The Yankees, the Dodgers added Skubal. So, it's that point in the season where we keep winning regular season games, but will it be enough when you get into fall baseball? We need Schwellenbach to come back. But other than that, it's just a ton of question marks. So they continue to win games. They played 3 one-run games against the Yankees over the weekend. Lost 2, won 1, but still are up 8.5 games with about 45 games to play in the season. So bats are still good. That hasn't been our issue all season long, but we really got to get something going with the pitching. And at this stage in the season, it can only come from within our system. So we'll see how that plays out. Still reason for optimism, but Anthopoulos has chosen not to spend money in free agency throughout his entire stint with the Braves, and if he fails this season, people are going to start to question that process.
Sometimes you just got to spend some money, man, and go grab a dude, somebody that's paid it off and put a different jersey on him. I mean, I look back at the past, and I know you do too. I did not realize, even, coming into the Hall of Fame, the great Jones, not Chipper, but Andrew. I didn't realize Andrew, like his last 4 years, played for 4 different teams. And you forget that kind of stuff, and you forget where people go and leave because other teams see value in it, and you pluck them.
That's kind of their cash-in years, right? I mean, he had plenty of money by the 10. He could have retired and not played, but
very few
silly money.
Very few people go the entire, like Chipper Jones is. That's just crazy that he started and finished as a Brave. So you're right, that thinking process, I'm not sure, and it is like you're looking in the dugout. There is no way to get anybody else. You're on your own. You have to make it happen. I just can't believe Atlanta has an arm problem. We got a QB problem and a pitching problem.
That's a great segue because that's where I was going next. Is the Falcons preseason starts on Thursday, so they've got the Broncos coming into town on Thursday for a preseason game. I believe Tua is going to get the starting nod in week 1, and I think he's supposed to play, which I think is a good thing. We need to start developing some chemistry if we're going to have a chance. We have an arm problem and we have a leg problem. With training camps comes injuries, and a couple of years ago, the Falcons traded away a whole bunch of draft capital to get some pass rushers. One of those pass rushers I don't know, got into like a 8-car police chase, domestic violence issue, and is facing suspension from the National Football League. James Pierce.
Sorry,
So
Pierce.
he will miss a good portion of this season. And then the other guy that we went and got in that draft, we drafted 2 edge rushers in, I believe, the 2024 draft in the first round. One of them is, I don't know, he might even be in jail, but he's certainly facing a suspension from the NFL. Pierce, and then Jalen Walker late last week tore his ACL, former Georgia Bulldog. So we lost both of our pass rushers. I have zero idea who is going to sack any quarterbacks on the defensive side of the football. So, yeah, things are tumbling downhill fast for the Falcons here before the season has even started. I hate to be pessimistic going into a football season, but I just really don't know. I don't know how we're gonna be a very, very competitive football team.
Well,
I'd love to be proven wrong.
I hope so, and I know what a fan you are. Jack and I both have been to 2 Super Bowls between us. I went to the 98 and was up front and personal to see us lose, and then Jack went to the game that I can barely talk about.
2017, where they lost because of a coin toss.
And Jack was there. Jack was there.
I was there.
Yeah, so that being the pain that we carry with us, I mean, it could be worse. We could be Buffalo Bills or Minnesota Viking fans. But my thing is, it may be a season for your second favorite team. At least I have one. So that's my question going out to both of you. Jeff, you're Atlanta native. Jack has lived most of his life here. And I don't know, who's your second favorite? I can tell you mine. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm happy that Aaron Rodgers is talking to his parents. He's got a funky looking wife that I wouldn't marry. But that's who I'm cheering for. What do you guys got?
For a second team?
Yeah.
I would just have to go with the 49ers, just because I was a big Joe Montana fan when I was a kid.
All right, but that's pathetic. What do you got, Jack?
I think at that point it would be my fantasy football team, but I grew up because my second team is arguably in a worse state of mind, and my dad brought me up as a Cleveland Browns fan. So,
Okay.
Just humility is the name of the game. I'm already looking to April to see, it's a great quarterback class, this draft class. So, it's going to be fantasy football or bust for me this year. I've got a feeling.
All right, I'm with you. Jack is in 2 fantasy leagues with me. He will be in the Yeah Come On League. He's also in the Chanticleer League. Jack, you can let me know in the other league if I'm invited or I'm in, because I have a vengeance. So we'll see where it all goes. And I say that jokingly, but I do 3 fantasy leagues. Jack, this just in, we're bringing Kincaid back in now that he's back working for 680 The Fan. John Kincaid will now be in the Yeah Come On League with us.
Oh man! So I'm going to be in 3 leagues with you, because you'll be, of course, in my family league that my wife is rejoining this year, and my sister.
Oh God!
After a brief hiatus of raising, infants, they're back in on fantasy football this year. So we need to schedule a draft date for that one, but we always find a way to squeeze that one in. So
we do.
Yeah, it's that time of the year. Hard Knocks started with the Seahawks. That's like very cool that a reigning Super Bowl champion is getting Hard Knocks. So that started last Tuesday. That was a fun episode. And then Netflix released Quarterbacks, where they followed a few quarterbacks from last year. Watching Joe Flacco is like so entertaining if you're not watching Quarterback.
I'm not.
It is fascinating to see. It's really cool. You should watch it. It's Baker Mayfield, Joe Flacco, Cam Ward, and Jaden Daniels. They follow those 4 guys from last season to get you in the mood for football. So
I'm ready.
August 10th. Football season is here. We got Eastlake coming around the corner. The FedEx St. Jude championship starts this weekend with the top 70 players. So it's cold in my room. I'm sitting near an air vent, but it feels like, that crisp fall air is just around the corner. So with that being said, this has been Jack Sugar with Yeah Come On Sports, brought to you by North Atlanta Golf Carts.
Thanks, Jack. All right, man. Looks like we made that work, even though we had digital issues. Yeah. And the phone was coming through. I'm afraid to hit anything in that situation. And it's just a stupid roofing company that will go unavailable. By the way, when you tell us you're in our neighborhood and you just want to check, I don't know, our trees, our roofs, or anything, we know it's a lie.
Well, they're getting insurance money because your insurance will pay for it.
Yeah, that's all they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I got somebody else that wants to take a shot at the old issue, but this is a guy I know he's been on my roof twice. I have hail damage, but do I have enough? What do I know? What do I know?
That's what he's there for. So let's wrap it up with track 13. We're going to do sort of end of eras breakup songs because 99X feels like it's coming to the end because Cumulus had to lay off a bunch of almost all of the air personalities, which is really the only thing that it has. I mean,
well, that's what the morning show was based on, and like I said, I'm not going to pass judgment. Unlike a lot of people in this business, I don't get angry. I'm blessed for the 14.
I don't, nor get happy if someone loses their job.
No,
That's
I'm
no
never
reason to be happy for
not
that.
happy about anybody losing their job. And if somebody was happy about me, then deal with the karma train. But I will say, when it comes to 99X, I'm not a fan. But I like a lot of the personalities.
And you liked Resurrection Sunday.
I loved that.
Because that was your 80s new wave that you were into.
And I did the 88 Rewind back in the day on Georgia State. So for me, it was personality. And I know that morning show did some cool stuff. I just didn't hear it because I was up against it.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, that you look at what they have, that's all it was founded on. So it was personality based. The morning show was doing replays from the day and doing new stuff.
Yeah.
And all three were popping in during the week. So you gave it a run.
Gave it a run. Well, now it's over, or looks like it's over. And I thought we'd kick the week off with, I think Loverboy is one of your favorite bands. You like Loverboy.
I did. I loved Loverboy like in the 10th grade. I thought Reno looked cool. I didn't know they were from Canada, not that it would have mattered. But some of their songs, at least the chicks I like were dancing to it. And I was like, well, there's something there. And then I loved it. There's some of the songs were a little too goofy for me. But there's like about 7 or 8 that I'm like, hell to the...
Well, this is a little bit slower, kind of a breakup song. It is When It's Over. That'll be our track 13 and our sort of breakup end-of-era songs. It is Loverboy, When It's Over. Watch the video, listen to the song, link in the description. It is the Yeah Come On Show.